Good evening. Starship had a pretty good opening day, we thought, but the FAA still grounded it for that booster malfunction. The SpaceX IPO could be a re-rating catalyst, as they say, for Rocket Lab. We'll look into that. Schaefer and Spire team up for hardware and satellite platforms in Europe. NASA taps Blue Origin for 3 uncrewed lunar missions. Orbit Fab and Thales Alenia are teaming up to check out and refueling for electric propulsion satellites. Space Force awards a $2.29 billion deal to SpaceX to accelerate backbone SATCOM networks. Space degree is costing us vital science. And they say that things are going to get worse before they get better. We'll talk about that. There's a reason, specific reason. Thales Alenia again submits its own entry in the cargo return sweepstakes. And NASA plans a base on the moon, hundreds of square kilometers in size. All that to discuss it is our returning guest, Dr. Ajay Kothari. From the news desk at the Center for Space Commerce and Finance, my name is Thomas Andrew Olson, and this is The Unknown Quantity. And of course, as you know, this program is brought to you by the Center for Space Commerce and Finance. What do? We champion and strengthen emerging space startups, excuse me, and space-adjacent enterprises worldwide through advisory, access, and advocacy. Our pitch events and world-class boot camps fortify startups to be better investor-ready. Now, a lot of our work, especially this podcast, is supported by our listeners and fans like you. So just go to cscf.space/support and click that plain stay donate button. A little in the tip jar each month makes a big difference. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends. Speaking of friends, my oldest space friend, Michael Lane, who just finished a sage burning ceremony in his home, is here with me. Come on in, man.
Hey, how's things?
Well, other than a funny tickle cough at the very last second, I'm doing great.
All of a sudden, you're like, radio voice.
What the hell happened there?
Yeah. Hey,
I have that.
How are you? What are you up to?
Oh, God, I'm just getting ready to travel.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you traveling?
National Space Development Conference. We've got a whole crap ton of things going on that we are going to do, including a 2-hour live podcast from the venue this coming next Thursday, a week from today, 2 to 4 p.m. So remember, it's a different time than usual, 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be 2 to 4 in the afternoon Eastern on that day. And so be sure and join us. That's going to be a great, great show. And then after that, we have a huge panel discussion on the future of space finance and entrepreneurship and investment all around the world. That's going to be an incredible panel. Michael's on it. You'll see him.
Yeah. Excited about that.
Just being his best. Wear a better shirt, Michael.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, should I wear the hat on stage or not? What do you think?
I think it's a trademark. I mean, I do. I think you're owning it. Yeah. Sean says yes too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm still out shopping around. I have a couple of days before I have to travel. There are a couple of shops here that sell interesting hats. I'm still looking for a good Panama. Yeah. So I might try. If I find one, I might try that.
I would go that. That's a good look. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
and so it looks like there's someone new here. I've never seen this person before. Luis Andre Reyes.
Right on.
Buenos dias. Bienvenidos, señor. Welcome to the show if you haven't been here before. I guess we just start right in, eh?
I was gonna make one more comment about ISTC. The Dr. Meany that was on the show last week, that was just watching in the chat, he's going to be there, and he is a speaker for his own stuff. He does biology in space, And so I told him swing on by and join the fun. So he's like, definitely block him in for 10 minutes. So that will be one of the people speaking. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be great.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm trying to get everyone in our, especially in our, not just our panel, that next day, but also the entire business track is going on that next day as well.
Right.
I'm trying to get everybody to pop in sometime during that period, and they can sit down and talk with us. Also, while there, I think Monday we're going to do our warm-up show on Monday, and I want to talk to Sean about that. I'm going to be setting up a second computer. I'm going to try a second link because this is going to be a test of something I might want to do at ISDC, because I want to have another laptop with our stuff on it pointed outward with the camera, and so someone can sit like right in front of us and talk into the camera, and they'll be on the thing like a regular guest. So it'll be another guest thing. It's just
sure,
it's not live on the screen until somebody's sitting there.
Right. Yep.
So I'm going to test that on Monday. Warning to you, Sean. I'm going to try that and see if I can make that system work, and then we'll have something else to do.
Great.
I just got a new router for a bunch of hardwired stuff. So it's I'm gearing up.
I'm counting on you to handle the technical side. I'll stand there and look pretty, but
the loyal sidekick is. Oh yeah, you're gonna. Speaking of patting yourself on the back, you're gonna pat yourself on the back about something.
Oh yeah. I'll do it real quick. So I'm kind of excited about this. For those that don't know, Dan Golden was the former administrator of NASA. He was at it for a long time in the earliest of the 90s, I think 92 to 98, if I've got my days right. Why don't I have my link coming up here? Here we go. And he puts out a newsletter every week now. He's been doing it for a year now. He's got a whole team. And 1-year anniversary, and last week he asked the question, who's going to build the next big giant industrial city? There's one in Japan. Where's America's next industrial city going to be? And lots of people weighed in on it. They did think Texas was the big winner, so I was a little surprised by that, because I don't think Texas is the place, but given what's happening with SpaceX, it's hard for me to disagree with that. But
there's a lot of activity in Texas. I can see why it might go that way.
No question. And all of these are good, right? Southern California, Phoenix. I never would have put Phoenix and Michigan into that. Detroit, maybe, but okay. So I definitely have opinions about this. I'm not going to get into that because that's their thing. I really do think this is a great newsletter per Aspera, through hard work. What I was excited about was they're only 11%. Where's that thing? Only 11% said somewhere else. And I was one of the vocal people that said somewhere else. And they referred to me as a Pacific Northwest maximalist. They didn't name anybody. Nobody got credit for it. But out of, 150 submissions, they highlighted mine. So that was kind of cool to see. So what I said was Seattle, Tacoma, Kent, the Kent Industrial Valley are way ahead of the country. Boeing supply lines are 100 years old. Material sciences, robotics, chemistry, electronics, precision manufacturing, the cloud computing capital of the world, and our bioinformatics industry is legendary. No place else is better prepared. And I really do believe that. I will stand on that one. But it was kind of nice to just get the shout out, even if it's not a personal shout out. It was kind of cool to see that, my analysis was, considered. So
okay. Good. Yeah. Well, we'll consider that the first news item. No, because I only have 9 tonight, not 10. And so there you go. Good for you.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to whip through this pretty quickly so we can get to our guest. So the FAA grounded Starship anyway, even though the flight went pretty well. For a first shot at the super heavy booster, but It was supposed to have a water landing in the Gulf, but the engines did not relight. And so now the FAA said, okay, you have to conduct a mishap investigation, and we have to ground you until you do. And so
SpaceX is super used to that, right?
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
This is their their MO, their modus operandi. Like, if this is the 12th launch test, this is the 12th FAA investigation. So
yeah, pretty much. It's like no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
In Brownsville.
Yeah.
That's, as Sean says, it's common in aviation as well, or it can be.
Yeah.
They don't have the incidents as often, so
right
on a real basis.
Right.
Next up, another quick one. This is not less about SpaceX IPO, but it's about Rocket Lab.
Yeah.
And they said that this could be a re-rating catalyst. I'm trying to figure out what that is, but he's this analyst is rating it a buy. This is one of the few credible platforms for investors looking for exposure to launch satellites, GEO, and Neutron. And so the growth driver is the SpaceX IPO. His price target is 196, and that still represents a 37% upside potential from the current price.
I'm going to take over the screen for a second and answer the re-rating question.
Yeah.
This little chart in the top right-hand corner. This is this is Rocket Lab's five-year numbers.
Yep. Right.
And all it's done is gone up. Like, there was a time not that long ago that you could buy Rocket Lab for $4, $5, $6, and now it's $148. That's what a re-rating means. And if you break it down deeper into the last 6 months, it's doubled in the last 6 months. If you break it down deeper, it's doubled in the last 1 month. Even in the last 5 days, it's gone up, 10%. What's happening here is the entire sector, and I mean the entire space sector, even the dogs of the SPAC world from 4 and 5 years ago, even the worst companies are being reevaluated based on the new math that SpaceX is requiring. That's what's happening. And it's a sector-wide reevaluation of all of the stocks. Redwire, Rocket Lab, AST, they're all being reevaluated based on this one thing. So that's what the re-rating means.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Yep. Okay. All of a sudden, Sean just did a big dump onto the chat box. Okay, never mind. Now, a company called Schaeffler, which I've never heard of, and Spire Global, I know them.
Right.
They're teaming up for space hardware and satellite platforms in Europe. This is more of this sovereign development thing,
right,
that we're seeing. I never heard of Schaeffler before. Interestingly, this is a Yahoo Finance quoted by Reuters. But the photo they have there on the screen is not Chinese President Xi Jinping, and it's certainly not the head of Spire. I don't know who that guy is.
So I was wondering if you were going to catch that. This is a close-up photo of a meeting that Xi Jinping had, and so this guy Schaeffler. Well, it's not really Schaeffler. The
Klaus Rosenfeld, is that Klaus Rosenfeld?
Yeah.
Think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Right.
All right.
So, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. And then, A, this is a $250 million partnership. B, it goes exactly to what you were talking about with sovereignty. C, we've been talking about Germany for 6 months now and their $41 billion fund.
Yep.
D, what's the guy's name at Spire?
Peter Plotzer.
Peter Plotzer. He's either German or French, right? So he's from that part of the world.
Yep.
So it makes total sense to be like, oh, I know that guy. I'm going to give that guy a call.
I like seeing it too, because Spire was one of our original poster kids
Yeah.
From way back. So,
well, tell a little bit of that story because not everybody knows it. I know our regulars have heard it, but not everybody's heard that. So just
okay, well,
brief.
we had a big prize money new space business plan competition back in 2012, and well, a company called Nano
on the line.
Yeah, $100,000 of Ames Research Center's money was on the line, and we had. And I thank you again, Pete Warden. Those were glory years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's to you, man. I love you. But yeah, we did. We had that. We did a boot camp. We had 10 companies vying for this, and a company called Nano Satisfy was one of them. And all the crew was there except for the head guy, who was Peter Platzer. And so they went through the boot camp dutifully, and they did their marks, and they learned everything really well. And I thought they would go do really, really well when it happens. Peter Platzer finally arrives and says, well, I'm going to do the presentation myself. I don't care what you guys did in the boot camp. I'm just going to do my own thing. And he didn't finish it, of course, because he wasn't prepared. Right. And so, but he won anyway, sort of. He didn't win the prize. Somebody else did. But one of the judges actually took a shining to that company and their business proposition, and he actually helped them. He's an investment banker guy, and he helped them raise their first $1 million.
Hoyt Davidson.
And then they became Spire.
Yeah. And then they became Spire, and now they're doing 250 million euro. Thanks, Sean. 250 million euro deals, publicly traded. They were in trouble about 6 months ago, 8 months ago. They were talking about getting them delisted. They sold off some really important assets, but put cash in the bank, and then that led them to this point. So really great. And also their stock is doing interesting stuff. Also part of that re-rating community. Yeah.
But will they throw us $100 in the tip jar just to say thanks?
You'd think, but
I'm not bitter or anything. You know, I'm happy for these people. They're great. You know, we've had 98 companies go through our program in some way or another, and so over a third of them have gotten funding. So that's a track record I'll stack up against anybody's.
Right.
Absolutely. And so let's keep going, man, because it's a thing. Okay. We kind of knew this was coming. NASA selected Blue Origin for the first of 3 uncrewed lunar mission, and they want to do them all this year.
Yes.
So they're and then more than a dozen more in the next year or two to test systems and equipment. And so they're not jumping right into the glass dome moon base or taking an iterative approach, but they're going to be using those probes to really look over potential landing sites and a lot of other things. And so it's starting, and it's starting quickly, and it's moving quickly, which is what Eisenman wants.
Right.
Yeah.
3 missions planned for 2026 would be followed by, quote, more than a dozen more in the coming years. I mean, 15 missions. Count again. How many was Apollo all total? So
2 to the moon.
Yeah.
I think 9 went to the moon and 6 landed or something, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of double, nearly triple of the landed missions. So
now they did. There were some landed missions, like Surveyor back then. They did send a bunch of those. In fact, Apollo 12 actually visited one.
Yep.
That was one thing they did. Pete Conrad was out there, you know, look at, and here it is. Here's Surveyor. Oh, let's take pictures. You know. But we did it before. We're doing it again, and we're doing it again on steroids, and it's going to be so much better this time around. And we got to live to see it. So there you go.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Next up, Orbit Fab and Thalasselenia are teaming up to study refueling for electric propulsion satellites.
Reminding everybody that Dan Faber, the now retired from Orbit Fab, former president, dropped casually into the conversation that they were thinking about going public, as was one of the reasons why he left, to give space to whomever needs to come in to do that. So
Right.
Their little Rafty, their passive interface is a pretty big deal, and people are betting on that being the future.
Well, we've talked about this a lot. Setting standards for specific things is vitally important, and if you can set the standard, then and that becomes kind of an open standard, then you've really written your ticket.
Think about the idea that they built one thing, a gas tank and a connector point, right?
Yep.
How many standards are necessary to build this thriving ecosystem off-world? And then think, they've raised $60 million on one standard. How many standards do we need, and how many $60 million companies are we going to get as we build those standards?
I guess it's a gamble for all of them. Everybody has their engineers, how they love to change things.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the simplest to I would say the simplest to operate and the most robust as well, and will stand the test of time. And so, a lot of things are going to get tested. One or two will end up standing out, like anything else we've ever built.
Yep, exactly. I want to point out that our new guy, Lewis, I just looked up your stuff. It is pretty interesting. I'm going to pass you over to Sean, and he'll make that editorial call, but I thought your stuff was cool, so happy to see you. Great to see Joe Luttrell, Dr. Plata, always terrific having you there. John Connell, thank you so much. I don't know what you're saying damn about. I guess I missed that point. Let's move on. All right, we got stuff to talk about here.
Absolutely, we got to get it going.
Hold on a second. What's Plata saying? Does it make sense to start building a moon base starting with Clips-landed hardware? We're not going to answer that. Dr. Kothari is our guest tonight. We're going to let him answer that.
Yep. Okay? I think that's a perfect question for him. We'll keep that in the hopper. So Space Force flush with all their cash they just got, has awarded a $2.29 billion deal to accelerate a backbone SATCOM network. And guess to whom? SpaceX wins again, just in time for the IPO. Who knew?
Right. That's convenient. Yep, that's good timing. But I'm gonna challenge you for a second, because Space Force is not getting all the money that they thought about, because of their $71 billion proposed budget, only 60 of it came from the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, and the other 12 billion is basically held hostage in a continuing resolution that probably is not going to happen. So a lot of the research and development projects that were hoped for are not in fact happening.
Well, if you had 1/3 of 1 billion, you'd be happy.
I'd be set. Yep.
So there you go. Exactly. It's all perspective.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Oh, gee, I wanted 71 billion. I only got 60. Oh God, what do I do?
What am I gonna do? Right?
Boo-hoo. Please stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah.
All right. So they got that. Now here's the thing. I saw this thing about space debris. They say it's going to get worse before it gets better, but there's a specific thing these guys were talking about. It's the space debris itself is forcing satellites to dodge more often. And dodging costs what? Not just vital science, but what?
Time and fuel.
And so, which is great for orbit fab, I guess. And that boosts their business.
None of those satellites are fitted with a Rafty, so they don't get the advantage of refueling.
Yeah. Well, you should have gone with orbit fab.
Yeah, right.
Now you're going to learn next time.
Right.
But that is a problem. And it's we always worry about just random accidents and things banging into the ISS or something. No, this is an ongoing thing. Every satellite that's up there has to worry about that.
Right.
And that's a huge cost, not just in time and research money, but also just regular commercial service.
Yep.
Like when Starlink right now is like dipping their satellites down, a few tens of kilometers sometimes, and kind of dipping their thing in order to do the same thing, avoid debris. Mm-hmm. Okay, quickly. I got one more thing, and then we have the question of the night, basically. We bring in our guest. So, okay, this is a real quick one. And there's another one of the things in the sovereign category. Thales Alenia Space submits an LEO cargo return bid to have their low Earth orbit cargo return system before the end of the decade. Because once again, they want to cut reliance on foreign technology. Translated, that means us.
Right.
So here we go again. And so, and Thales isn't usually that ambitious. They like just building the stuff that they like. They spent $50 million trying to build a HAP, and all I saw out of it was really fancy PowerPoint slides and high-end 3D graphics. Right. So for all that money, I don't know. But now they're going to do this.
Right.
Well, okay. Good for them.
Yep.
More power to them. Here we go. Now the big deal that brings in our guest this evening. NASA has announced they are planning a base on the moon that spans hundreds of square kilometers. Let that sink in for a minute. I know we're going to spend $20 billion on it. First off, I think that's way too cheap. But they want to carve out an area that's huge to do the exploration that they want to do and picking up the resources that they want to pick up. I'm sure part of that includes areas with the greatest theorized prevalence of ice deposits.
Right.
I'm sure that's part of the thing. And I think it might be just a kind of a shot across the bow to other countries' space ambitions along those same lines. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see how it flies, as you mentioned it before the show. It could end up being a form of lawfare. We'll find out. But as far as just the logistics and how much they have to spend and how much they have to do, never mind protecting an area that big, just settling down in an area that big and making something work.
Right.
So let's ask our guest tonight. He returns to us at long last. We haven't seen him in about 5 months, and he's one of our favorite guests. We're always glad to have him. The president and CEO of Astrox Corporation, Dr. Ajay Kothari. Welcome, sir.
I'm so happy to be with you guys.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I would not be able to attend your ISDC event very, very regrettably on Thursday because, and I have to mention this because I'm going a little political here, but I'm having dinner with some political people on that, in particular that evening, and that really, that's RNC. I'm sorry, I'm getting political here again.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But and there was an RNC event about 4 weeks ago at Mar-a-Lago that I was invited to, and I met Jared Isaacman at that time.
Oh,
talked to him a little bit, and also some other people at that same time. But also, before I do that, I do want to say to Tom that do keep your hat on. That's you. That's you. That's you. So it looks wonderful.
Right.
And so I may not be able to be. So don't take it off.
No.
Or you can take it off and put it back on, but don't take it off. So it's wonderful. It'll be wonderful to see you guys.
Yeah.
At ISDC. The next day I'll be there.
Great.
Good. So I was just going to mention
or something. And
the conference is 4 full days. So if you live in the neighborhood, if you could pop in one of those days, we'll definitely make time to say hi to you and have a nice chat.
And if I'm actually giving a talk on the moon track.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. It's a very, very small, like 10-minute talk. Because there are so many people who wanted to talk in that track.
I got cut, so he's what's the guy's name? The professor at UCLA. He's great. I love him. but yeah, like there's so many people that wanted to talk. Right, and he's like, you already have a slot over in the business track, so sorry, I don't have room for you on the moon track. So that moon track is the most. It's the most popular. It's the most popular track.
It's going to be the most popular because of what happened yesterday at NASA.
Yep.
And all that. And
well, also you got to think about Michael gets his revenge because he's going to be on one of the best panels in town. Yep. On Friday morning, first thing.
Yep.
So, oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
I'm good.
Plenary.
I'm good. So, believe me.
Yeah. And then, if you, so that's, his name is Madhu, by the way. I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
Yeah. First name is Madhu.
Oh, Madhu.
Madhu.
I know Madhu. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's understandable. Anyway, I really look forward to seeing you guys, First time.
Yeah.
First time. One thing I'm very excited about, and I will answer the 100-kilometer question in a minute. One thing I'm very excited about is the Chandrayaan-2, the Indian, orbiter that is still going around and has a DF synthetic dual frequency synthetic aperture radar, which can see through the surface to some extent. They have pretty much found that there might be a lot of water ice under the surface, not on the top, obviously. Yep. Under the surface, which we can, obviously, that's a huge news to me. Yeah. That's big news and very good news. And so that's kind of, with that take, I think that whatever it is that NASA is doing now sort of matches with that. Now, that particular area that they looked at was at South Pole, and it was right next to the Shackleton crater, because Faustini crater. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but they looked into the permanently shadowed regions, but they also found tracks of what might have been water when it came out during impact of various different things.
Seen that.
Yeah, so that's really, to me, it sort of kind of proves to me that yes, there is water ice there, and we need to get there.
And it's not as confined to the poles as some people think. There's using that same logic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that still means there's water at the equator also, right? Not as much. I'm not trying to claim that, but subsurface, the math makes sense.
Well, it may be, but at the whatever they've found so far at the equator and other places in the regolith is very small quantity.
Yeah.
But this subsurface water, like a meter deep or a few centimeters deep, up to a meter, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that would be very, very useful.
Yeah.
And so,
is there a guess for how much water in terms of volume? Because I didn't see that number. I didn't see a calculation for that.
Yeah, no, the calculation was there some time ago, and that said the South Pole had 600,000 ton of water.
600,000
ton. Well,
and how small a lake is that?
Right.
It's not very big, actually. 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It's a small in that way, but it's a lot of water for us to live on. It's more important than diamonds. If we had found diamonds,
yeah.
Actually, diamonds have become very cheap now because of the lab-grown diamonds.
You should take a look at the show that we had about 3 weeks ago with Space Ocean. They want to go to a moon and just suck up the water on Enceladus, and they're talking about a 30,000 liter mission that's worth $2.25 billion. Yeah, so that's a pretty big deal also, but that's only 30,000 liters. You just described a whole lot more than that, but it's a whole lot harder. So
yeah, 600,000 ton
yeah,
is 600, thousand kilograms, which
right.
is,
Right.
1
But you still have to
kilogram is,
recycle all of it, even if you got all of it out there. 600.
well,
Okay. Now,
we
Doug
don't have
Plata is
to, I
saying
mean,
it's 600 million tons,
Yeah.
metric ton.
All right. Both
That's
of
more.
I'm happy with either one. If either one of you are right, I'm happy. But yeah, Doug, show
I
the
may be
work.
mistaken. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
maybe it is 600
Well,
million
even
tons.
okay, even
Either
at
one of them.
600, even at 600 million tons, how many people on the moon at one time would that reasonably sustain, with a lot left over for?
Yeah, I had done that calculation a while ago, but I don't remember now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a lot, I think it is 600,000 tons, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
A million ton was the total. I don't think it is 600,000, 600 million. It's about a million ton total, South Pole. But, you guys can look it up. So,
Yep.
to answer your question about the 100-kilometer thing that NASA is trying to do, it's really not that big. 100 kilometers square is 15 by 15. That's 225.
10 by
100
10.
is like 10
Oh,
by
yeah.
10.
Yeah.
So it really is not that big. And then they have to do that. What the Carlos Galan Garcia and Carlos Garcia Galan, sorry,
Yeah.
is talking about planning, what NASA is planning is really, really quite exciting. Quite exciting for us and for the country and for the world, actually. So I'm really, really very excited about it. By the way, I must tell you that I was preparing, but when I came in here, I was preparing to talk about something else today.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
I said, yeah, it was about orbital data centers or terrestrial data centers, that type of thing,
Uh-huh.
And I sent the PowerPoint or whatever to Sean. So if he wants to go through that, if you want to go through that, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. So,
Well, one thing I would like to bring up, I know Dr. Plata did have a question I wanted to bring up about.
Yeah, and
Where is it
while
now?
you're looking that up, I just had to run the numbers through the AI.
yeah.
Using the Space Ocean numbers that said $30,000 per liter, at 600 million tons. That gives you $18,000 trillion.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of water at today's prices.
But I don't think it is 600 million.
Okay.
I think it's 600.
Okay. Sean, can you bring?
Right, let's not.
Yeah,
let's
can you bring back that question that Dr. Plata had? Does it make sense to start building a moon base, starting with CLPS landed hardware, when the Starship fleet will be able to deliver far more mass at less per kilo price?
Well, I'm going to have to say this. We don't have Starship. We don't have the numbers about how much it'll cost to put the payload onto the lunar surface, etc. We don't have the numbers. But it's just really it does make sense to start doing this thing with these in phase one. In phase one, we are doing the CLPS landers, and CLPS lander with I think a couple of ton payload or something like that. In phase two, it goes up to 5-ton payload, and phase three, it goes up to 8-ton payload. All of that, if you were able to come to my talk on Sunday, I'll be showing how Falcon Heavy could also take from 1 to 8 to 14 to 15 ton with the way that I'm talking about doing, which is docking in orbit for the upper stage and all that. So I think it does make sense to start to do this, to start to think about it, and we will change our direction or MO if Starship is reliably able to do what it's supposed to do. So I would say don't wait for Starship, or don't say that. Start now. Do it now.
Yeah.
They'll start it now. They are doing it now. Of course, obviously, they are starting with whatever it is that they are doing with the CLIPS program for, I think it was Starbase 1, 2, and 3, which is part of phase 1, really. So that's kind of my take on this to Doug, is that it does make sense to start doing what they are doing in 26 and 27 at least. So
okay. Well, Sean says he's ready with the slide deck. So if you want to go over a few things, you are welcome to do so.
We got about a little less than 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say something that a lot of people are not going to like, which is that the orbital data center idea that Elon has and other people have doesn't make sense. So the economy of that, the reason for that is that, okay, so orbital data centers will cost a certain amount of money, which is shown here in this slide. It's about for this particular thing, 1 gigawatt target capacity will cost $51 billion. Terrestrial will cost $15 billion. And the way that we are doing this, the way that they are doing it in this particular idea, is using pressurized water reactors or another form of this thing. What I'm suggesting is that if you were to do this the way that I guess Copenhagen Atomics is planning to do, which is the next slide. Yes, the one above that, one above that, above. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So this is the cost of what, and I'll show you what Copenhagen Atomics is doing and what I'm doing. That it'll cost $20 to $40 per megawatt hour, which is about 2 to 4 cents per kilowatt hour, which is really cheap. So if you can provide power at that level to the data centers, you don't need to do anything else in orbit.
Yeah, so, I'm a big fan of. I've been a big fan. You have to convince me of thorium reactors.
Yeah, okay.
We should be deploying one of those a month until 2060, and then maybe we'll cover all the demand.
That's yeah, right. Yeah. Well, we can go up to this. So this one, but this particular one that you're seeing here is a 100 megawatt reactor, 100 megawatt thermal, which is 33 to 42 megawatt electric. But you can see that they have this onion-shaped idea or something, and this whole thing they are going to ship. They're going to ship this. They are able to ship this, and they're going to start going critical next year, actually, and going to start shipping this, in a couple of years after that. So they can build this in a modular fashion, and modular fashion, not, I don't mean small modular reactor, but small modular reactors put together, like 10 of these would be 1 gigawatt power. The data centers are not going to require that much power. They require like 100 to 200 megawatt type of in that area. of power. So this is an absolute possibility that will really negate any desire to do a complicated thing like orbital data center. And some people make argument that hey, if you do orbital data center, it's going to be a lot of a lot of jobs, a lot of work for the space industry, and we'll be sending all these things up there and stuff. But hey, it would be nice if that is true. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
That's this.
Well, I mean,
We have had on the show about 4 people that have been on either side of the equation. One was a solid skeptic. One is one of the biggest boosters. It is perplexing to me, but there is a hell of a lot of money going into this topic right now.
Yeah, I know. It's in the orbital data center, you mean, right?
Yeah.
But if even 1/10 of that, 1/100th of that was going into the molten salt, and now it's starting to actually, is going to go into this, will solve this problem within a few years. So I just really don't know why people don't want to do easier things. We have a lot of complicated things to do on the moon. Let's do it that way,
Right.
Do these easier things here this way. This is okay. By this, what I'm showing here is my design of a small modular reactor. This is an even smaller one, 26 megawatt thermal, but it weighs only like 10 tons, 11, 12 tons, let's say, something like that. No? So it is possible. Then it is only 26 megawatt, like I said. So this is really, these things are so easy to do, so much easier to do on ground. And on ground, I mean, I know I've heard that people are saying, oh, no data center in my backyard, NIMBY. But, you don't have to put them in their backyard, put it a mile away.
I would be proud to have that in my backyard.
I would be very proud to have it also. Yeah. I would be proud to have even, a thorium molten salt reactor in my backyard.
Yeah.
That's another topic, That's another. But anyway, I think that this is what is going to happen. Kicking and screaming, but it's going to happen. And I think some people are already doing this. How much water is needed is the question. You won't believe this, but it's almost zero, none, because you can do this. This molten salt reactor runs at about 700 degrees centigrade when it is molten, and it creates the heat, and it then has a heat exchanger in between, and heat exchanger carries that liquid, which can be molten salt, also flibe or something else, and provides it to a turbine, obviously. But the turbine doesn't run on water; it runs on closed cycle CO2 or closed cycle helium. So all the cooling is done through the atmosphere, air. No water is needed for this at all. There might be some small amount needed for something else which I haven't thought about, but as far as the theory is concerned, no water is needed for molten salt reactors. So hey, what more do you want? It doesn't create any waste products.
Right.
It doesn't create any waste products. It says we have enough thorium in this country to last us for 600 years of electricity. And this thing is 5 times more abundant in Earth's crust than uranium 238 and uranium as such. Uranium is only 0.7% is uranium 235. So when you multiply that by or divide and multiply by that ratio, it's 500 times more abundant than uranium reactors. So this is really solving all the problems. Get with it. I mean, this is really no water needed, no pollution, no CO2, no, and it doesn't blow up. It cannot blow up because it's
Yeah.
working at close to atmospheric pressure.
Yeah.
So, and it has a lot of, and there are companies, of course. I mentioned the Copenhagen Atomics in Denmark. Copenhagen, of course, obviously. But so of course, there is one here called Flybe Energy, which is doing a pretty good job also. Kirk Sorensen's company. You might have heard of that. So, yeah, what you're looking at is that there are 6 different types of generation 4 reactors. The 5 up on the top require, no, I mean, go back. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. And so the 5 all require high pressure, etc., and gas and stuff. And only one of them, molten salt reactor, doesn't require all that. So it really is no brainer, really, for us to work on that. And it really is. And I don't need to go through go through the science of this right now, physics of this right now.
Right.
But it really is quite possible, and it'll beat. Sorry to say, it'll beat orbital data center any day of the week.
Well, it's going to take some political will to get that done, obviously.
Yeah.
So I hope your conversations actually bear fruit in that regard.
Right. Yeah.
Because the thing is, though, the one pushback you get from
Yeah.
people, way up there in the ether, is that, well, you can't make nuclear weapons out of thorium reactors. It's just physically impossible to do. And so everybody has this love for fast breeder, U-235 or plutonium reactors, because you can siphon off some of the excess and make a nasty explosive out of it. I'd like to get us out of the habit of doing that. We already have more than enough, I think, that we really need.
Yeah, no, this doesn't make plutonium at all. And, but, I mean, I will agree with one thing that people say, that you can make bombs from uranium-233, which is what is produced here.
Yep.
And of course, the thorium produces uranium-233, but it's in liquid form. It's already dissolved. So somebody will have to take that out in a solid form and make a bomb. That's one thing. The other problem area is that in order to create uranium-233, you have to go through this cycle of thorium-232 plus 1 to thorium-233, etc., plutonium and uranium-233. But in doing that, small portion of it also creates uranium-232, which is quite, it emits gamma rays. So it's a big problem. That is the reason why there is going to be requirement of a large steel containment vessel, for thick steel containment vessel for these reactors. But once you have created your uranium-233, that fission process doesn't cause any of these problems. So once you imagine you have a molten salt reactor somewhere, and you are creating 233 dissolved in Flybe or something like that. That particular thorium area is somewhere else, and that has a thick steel containment. After uranium-233 is created, you take that to the data center. You take only that to the data center, and then the uranium-233 is the one that fissions. So it creates a lot of heat, a lot of power, and all kinds of things. All these things are possible and much easier than putting things up in orbital data center.
Right.
So that's the end of my talk on what I was going to talk about.
Okay. Well,
We don't
Sean
get into anything else,
Sean keeps raising the question.
Yeah.
What is the rough estimate of the cost of one of these reactors?
A rough estimate is, let's see, I wrote it down somewhere, but it's in my, but it's not going to be very much because it doesn't require the domes and doesn't require high pressure containment vessels and all kinds of things like that. So it's going to be, I mean, you saw those numbers, $20 to $40 per megawatt hour.
Right. But to build it, to physically build it and turn it on, is it millions or billions or trillions?
It's I think it's my guess is that like 100 megawatt reactor would probably be 50 million, less than 50 million.
Okay.
Something like
that.
Okay.
Given the numbers we throw out in the industry lately, 50 million seems like lunch money. So
right. It's just really, it's quite, it might be even less than that. I think that I saw the number somewhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, we talk about LiftPort's $350 million project to build out an elevator that's a bare bones system.
Yeah.
Adding an extra $25-50 million to make it, near limitless energy, low cost, that we can build out all of the rest of our infrastructure like that. It's not a rounding error. It's not. That's a significant change, but it is in the realm of the kinds of things we could talk to investors about. So
yeah, I mean, you can imagine that if this thing is quite simple and able to do, I think it may be even $20 million. I mean, in my pitch deck that we have, we are costing it at about $20-30 million.
Okay. So with our remaining 3 minutes, we always ask the question about what's the future look like? So what does 5 years look like? What are you asking the RNC for? And what does 25 years look like?
Well, actually, I should also say that I had dinner with Mike Herodopoulos, who is the chair of the subcommittee for space and aeronautics, of course, space more important, 2 weeks ago or something like that. So what I'm asking RNC and other people to discuss, to talk about, some senators also, is a answer to Burevestnik, which is
what? Sorry.
Answer to Burevestnik, which is the Russian nuclear powered missile.
Okay.
So I'm asking for that, and I'm also asking to some other people in North Carolina for funding molten salt reactors also.
Great. So kind of Golden Dome money and nukes on the moon money. The new NASA program to get energy on the moon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That would be good too. What would be the right thing to do there? I don't know yet. But there is a lot of thorium on the moon also. So we'll see. I think that in terms of 5 year, I think that is going to be a golden 5 year thing on the moon. It's going to be very exciting, very good. A lot of infrastructure building started, and it'll be wonderful. And I don't want to go to 25 year because all kinds of things are going to happen.
Everybody chickens out of that 25 years. All right. Thanks a lot.
Even us sometimes.
Yeah. But I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry.
Next week.
Next week.
And next Friday.
And then next week.
Next week, yeah. Cool. And do come to my talk, even though it's only 10 minutes long.
I will. It's Sunday morning. I'll actually have the time. All the work I need to do will be done by the end of Friday.
Yep.
And so I actually have a couple days to just, just be a conference goer.
I'll
So that
see
will
you
be fun.
Friday morning itself, hopefully.
Okay, very good.
Well, what time is your panel discussion?
Oh, that starts at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh,
it's
then
the
I will
main
not see
plenary.
you. I don't think I'll see you. Because I live about 20 miles from there.
Okay.
And, by the time I get there and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, anyway.
All right.
Anyway,
Dr. Ajay Kothari, thank you so much for being here. President of Astrox Corporation, always just a brilliant and intriguing man. I'm so glad to have you, and I'm glad you like our show. And
I
sure
love
like
your
you.
show and love you guys.
Yeah.
And Sean, he does a great. Well, all three of you do a great job. So
yeah, thanks so much. And we will see you again. We'll see you next week.
next week. Yeah.
Take care, man.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. I won't say that Monday is an open mic night. I've invited a couple of people to come from NSS to come talk to us. Monday, we're having our ISDC warm-up show, and we may have a surprise guest or two. I'm still working on that. Well, so stay tuned. I'll be as things develop. I'll be hitting social media and telling everybody about it. And make sure you'll all be here on Monday, June 1st, as usual, as always, 8 p.m. Eastern. For Michael Lane and Sean Key, my name remains Thomas Andrew Olson. Keep watching the skies.